Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peaks that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Hi everyone, and welcome to The Day with Trae. I am your guest host, Alicia Crank. I'm so excited to be here this week while Traeana's in North Carolina at the NAACP National Convention. So I know she's going to bring back all kinds of good information and anecdotes that came from that. So in the meantime, I'm here to help out. So happy to be here. And this is really something really special for me. This is something I've always wanted to do in my career, even though I kind of went into other things. But today, this Monday, is also my late father's birthday. And he was someone that really fed my ambition to do this type of work. So I'm just feeling really blessed and pleased that the first day of my doing this is actually on his birthday. So rest in heaven, Dad. So with that, I am so excited about our guest today, a multi-hyphenated person, someone you've seen here before many times, Bishop Gwendolyn Phillips-Coates. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege to be here at this Emmy-winning show.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes, thanks for trusting me, you guys.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you are multi-hyphenated. You are a bishop, you are a preacher, you are a vocalist, you are all the things. You're a designer, you're an owner and a CEO of a business. Tell us what's going on, especially around your Creative Lifeworks work.
So I created this business last year, Creative Lifeworks, to bring everything that I do under one umbrella. Mm-hmm. So I make t-shirts, I put sayings on the back of jackets, I design these handbags, I'm an author, a vocalist, a producer, a preacher, teacher, Bible study, facilitator, this is what I say to people. God has anointed me to do many things. On the back of the jacket that I have, especially for me, it says, blessed with creativity.
I love it. So tell us about these bags. How did you get into the handbag game of all the things that you got going on? Because I know I'm already eyeing a couple of these already.
I'm glad you are. They are for sale. But listen, my son and my daughter and I, for the last a little over a year, have been meeting once a week for an hour to talk about creative ideas. Mm-hmm. And so I bought this pair of boots. And I could not find a handbag to go with it. So on one of our meetings, I hold up this handbag and show it to my family and said, this is what I made to go with those boots. Mm-hmm. And my wonderful son, Philip Sharp Skills Jacob, said to me, Mom, you've got to make more of those. So I didn't listen to him at first until I start carrying that bag where I went. And I'm telling you, at the airport, the flight attendants wanted the bag. The people checking in the luggage wanted the bag. Wherever I have gone, there are people who want that specific bag. While they can't get it because I don't have any more of that fabric, I decided to just create a line of bags that I call the Ancestral Collection.
Yes, and tell us more about that.
So the Ancestral Collection is named after my mother, Henrietta, my grandmothers, Maddie and Lena, and my aunts, Aunt Jen, Aunt Lily Cake, Aunt Bernice, and Aunt Myrtle.
Very Southern names.
Yes. They're from Oklahoma, and these girls were born in the early 1900s, and the one that lived the longest was Lily Cake. She lived to be 95, and my mother passed away at 91. Wow. So we have a little longevity in our genes. This is the Bernice. And it is a crossbody bag. The smaller ones are the Maddie and the Lena, because they were smaller girls. And the one in the back is the Henrietta. The Henrietta, I call it a brief bag. Because it's not a briefcase and it's not a bag, but it's smaller than a briefcase and bigger than a bag.
Gotcha.
And my mom was a very organized, studious woman. She was a piano teacher for over 50 years, and the week before she died, she had piano students.
Wow.
The other thing that's on the table is my book,
Yes.
Waiting on My Lunch Date, A Journey Through Grief and a Path to Joy. And I do hope that you'll get it and read it.
Oh, I absolutely want to get it. I was reading about it, right before we came here to meet today. 20th anniversary?
Yes.
Yeah, talk about that.
So this is the 20th anniversary of the book. That it came out in 2005. It's not the 20th anniversary of my husband's passing. He passed in 2001.
Okay.
But it took me a few years to kind of process and go through the grief process. And I'm saying that because I want people to be encouraged to go through the grief process.
Yes.
Sometimes 6 months, a year, you feel like you're ready, but you're really not ready. Even 10 years ago, when I published my doctoral dissertation, The Church's Response to Illness, Dying, Death, and Bereavement, it took me the whole 5 years to write that dissertation from 2010 to 2015 because I had completed all my assignments, but every time I would get into the meat of why people should be prepared for end of life, why they should talk to their loved ones, how they can talk to their loved ones, how the church can be an assistant to these folks going through this. It just stung too much. And then somebody else would pass away. And then it was tough. So finished the doctoral assignment of all my work in 2010, between the end of 2010 and 2011, all the ancestors passed away.
Wow.
My mom, my baby brother, all my aunts and my uncle, and then 10 months later, my father passed away. So it was just too close. So I tell people, you've got to give yourself a chance to grieve. Give yourself a chance to heal. And then you can start writing your work. So you don't want to pour all of your grief into your work. So it's the 20th anniversary, and I'm now ready to go on the road with the church's response to illness, dying, death, and bereavement. So beginning in September, I'll be going around the country teaching these principles to folks in churches.
Will any of those teachings be recorded for people to be able to watch on demand or be able to access in some way that can't be there in person?
I'm hopeful that that will be the case, but I'll also be doing webinars.
Oh, great.
So I'll be doing Train the Trainers, I'll be doing work with individuals, and I'll be doing webinars for those who just want to come on. I've worked with a lot of people around grief and loss, and so they've been blessed by that, and I want them to be able to come back and do an update. Where are we now? We'll be doing support groups, and we'll do them in person if we can, but we'll also do them as a webinar.
I feel like this is so timely. I think the other reason why I was drawn to your book when I was reading about it was that 2001 date, because that's the year I lost my dad. So kind of, bringing that back full circle into this moment and thinking about how members of our community are not encouraged to talk about grief or to process grief. And I know I wasn't, and then also having lost several people in my family in a short period of time later on as well. And I was like on the other side of the country when it happened. So it was like there wasn't anyone close by that I had that relationship with to be able to really process it. Like, you're strong, you got this. But we don't talk about that as a community a lot. And so I'm curious your thoughts about that. And I think you've already answered some of that with doing this tour and these teachings that you're about to do, but especially in this climate.
Yes.
This climate right now where there's unprecedented struggles happening. And so there's more of a sense of contriteness to some degree.
So I was very sensitive around the COVID-19 incident that is really still with us.
Yes.
And so I didn't want to start talking to people about, be prepared for end of life, because end of life was happening so quickly that we couldn't capture it all. We were just responding to what was happening. So what is happening now through trauma and drama, we are experiencing grief, and our brain doesn't know that we're grieving that we lost our job or we're grieving that we lost our dad. Grief is grief, and we've got to find a way to experience it in a different way, right? My handbags, this is a grief project. because the ancestral collection, when I'm out vending or talking to people about these handbags, my mother is there, my grandmothers are there, and my aunts are there.
Yeah.
And I get to talk about my mama, I get to talk about my aunts,
Yes.
and tell them stories of how these people impacted my life. And if you know anything about healing from grief, part of it is to acknowledge that they aren't there, but find another way to bring them in the room.
Absolutely. When my brother, he passed away, I got a tattoo of my grandmother and my brother, my oldest brother. They died within 6 months of each other. And so
Same.
I have this tattoo here. Everyone thinks it's a birthmark, but it's really like an eternal flame. So it's like when I look at it and kind of touch it, it kind of reminds me that they're still with me, even though they're not physically here.
Well, if we don't do anything about our grief, if we don't do anything about our sorrow, and we just let it sit within us, then that's why there's so much anger. That's why there's so much violence. Domestic violence is an outburst of, I'm angry about all these other things, and you're the closest person to me, so I'm going to take it out on you. Hurt people, hurt people. So I tell everyone, even though I'm a pastoral counselor and I can only see them for a few times, and if I realize that they need to see somebody else, I'm referring them out. And I encourage people to get grief counseling. Every hospice organization in every city will offer free grief counseling.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how long it's been. Years ago, I was doing remembrance services, and I would bring my grandfather into the remembrance service, and I never met him. He died before I was born. But I grieved the loss of not knowing my grandfather. So we've got to be very specific and intentional about remembering what needs to be remembered, and forgetting what needs to be forgotten.
I like that. And just going back to something you just said a while ago about, dealing with grief and the manifestation of going through that counseling is that something good can come out of it.
Absolutely.
Like the creative things that you're doing here. I need you to tell us about the yellow purse.
Well, let me tell you about this yellow purse. So I wasn't going to show this one.
Show that purse.
It's really one of my favorite babies because it's a recreation of a creation. So it started out as just a yellow bag, and it wasn't getting any comments. Nobody was liking it. No one was really looking at it. It was just a pretty yellow bag, like the shade of this yellow that I have on. But I had some purple butterfly fabric, and I decided to recreate the creation and come up with a yellow bag that has purple sheer and sequin butterflies on it. And now it's the talk of the town.
Yes.
So what I want to say about that is that we're always, or should be, no matter what our age is, creating and recreating ourselves in the first place. This Sunday, I'll be in a fashion show at Plymouth Church from 4 to 7, and it's called the Wisdom Strut.
Right. Okay.
Because all of us are of some kind of age. You get to guess what that is, but mostly 60s, 70s, and maybe an 80 or two, because it's never too late to acquire those dreams and to do those things that just mean something to you. I didn't intend to start making handbags. It just sort of happened, but now that it's happened, I don't know if I'll be able to stop.
And so I'm already sure some people are already looking at these bags, and we're going to talk about how they can get a hold of you to get more information. But let's talk about some of the pricing on these bags. I like something that you were telling me earlier about that I completely agree with. Go for it.
So I know that my bags are not going to be for everyone. I'm going to tell you, they belong in Nordstrom, they belong in Saks Fifth Avenue, they belong in Bergdorf Goodman, they belong in high-end stores because they're not made in China.
Right.
They're made in my living room. Can I say that again? They're not made in China. They're made in my living room. These hands finish off these bags by hand. I have a wonderful sewing machine, but these bags are finished off by hands, and my hands are being used as they are being anointed as they're going through the sewing process, right?
Right.
So they started about $80, $85, and they go all the way up to $250. I didn't bring, I don't know if I brought a $250 one here today, but I used the choicest fabrics that I can find.
Yeah.
I want this bag to be a piece that you will say, you know what, I need that in my wardrobe because Bishop Gwen made it. You
That's
know,
right.
I need it because I know that when she puts her hands to something, that God has blessed her to do that. So when I'm making these bags, I'm thinking about the woman that will carry this bag and how she may have been carrying some other baggage. And now that she can put that baggage to the side and carry this beautiful bag and have a
I got
smile.
Erica Badu playing in my head right now.
Right, the bag lady.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, how long does it take you to make the average bag for you, from the smallest one to the largest?
So I would say the average time is 1.5 hours to 2 hours per bag.
Okay.
Sometimes they take a little longer. This took longer because it was a recreation of the creation. And sometimes God will give me a vision in my sleep, even though I'm really trying to stick to the ancestral collection and those 7 styles of bags. But sometimes God will just give me a variation, so that each bag really has its own unique quality. I call them G bags. G bags for Gwendolyn.
Okay, G bags.
So I call them G bags, and I put labels in some of them, but not in all of them. Because to be honest with you, I don't like the label I have right now. That's the only reason why.
Okay, all right, so we
And
gotta
once I
find
get
your
the
new
label that I like, then the label's gonna be on all of them. But when I am making a bag, sometimes I won't put a zipper in, and then I'll say, oh, I need a zipper in it. So I'll come back and I'll put a zipper in it, or I'll put buttons on the outside, or do something else creative with it to make it kind of stand out, because they are handmade with love and one of a kind.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna let you tell us, where can people come to learn more about your work, and how to order and how to find out more about your books? Tell us about it.
So I am on all the socials. Gwendolyn Phillips-Coates. I'm on YouTube, Bishop Gwendolyn Phillips-Coates. Also for Creative Lifeworks LLC. You know, there are a lot of Creative Lifeworks out there, so be certain that you put Creative Lifeworks LLC. But I guarantee you, if you put in the name Gwendolyn Phillips-Coates in your search engine, everything is going to pop up.
Okay, so everyone do that. And support this work, and learn more about Waiting on My Lunch Date. I'm going to pick up that book, and maybe I'll get online afterwards and see if others are reading it and kind of compare some notes.
I'd love for you to do that.
Make it a group project. All right, Ray, we'll be right back.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill or Columbia City. The Station, where community happens. Black caregivers, entrepreneurs, and elders, this one's for you. Queen Care is offering complimentary self-care services to those who give so much to their communities. Take a moment to restore, recharge, and be cared for with free wellness treatments at the Spa House by Queen Care. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Go to queencareproducts.com now to sign up or scan the QR code on your screen because you deserve the same care you give to others.
Starters.
Starters.
Welcome back, everybody. I wasn't ready to let the bishop go yet because we had to talk more about these purses. I had to touch them. So, Bishop, please tell us about some of these bags that you have in your hand right now.
Okay, so the one that you have in your hand is named after my grandma, Lena.
Yes.
It is a square, really fine, like a corduroy, because I like for my bags to just really stand out, and the
good.
insides are just as fabulous as the outside.
Wow.
I am holding the Henrietta. This is named after my mom. It really is a brief bag because it also has a detachable inside pocket for use with your computer.
And I was going to ask about that when you said it wasn't quite a briefcase, but also not quite a tote. So great.
Yeah, so all of them don't have the little insert on the inside for the computer, but if it doesn't, it's going to be double padded so that if you put your computer in and you drop your brief bag, you are not going to break your computer. And I also stand behind all of my work.
Okay.
This is the Maddie, and I love this bag. There's several variations of it. I decided to have these straps go this way because you can very easily put it on your arm or put it on your shoulder.
I like that.
And as you see, the insides are just fabulous with their pockets and all the vibrant colors that.
And you're using a lot of different materials. So we got denim here.
Yes.
And
this is a tapestry. So I like using a jacquard or a tapestry or a very fine brocade that's thick enough so that when you are carrying this bag, you don't have to worry about the rain. You don't have to worry about it penetrating.
And that's important in Seattle.
It's very important. So you don't have to worry about it penetrating. Now, I will say that if you're carrying it in the rain and you have on a raincoat, go ahead and tuck this bad boy inside of your coat.
It's still an investment piece.
It's still an investment piece, and it will get wet.
Yes.
Right? It will get wet. So, I mean, you could try to Scotch guard it yourself. I'm not going to do that because they also could catch fire if you Scotch guard them, right?
Yeah, right.
So, but I want you to really think about where you're carrying these bags. I also have evening bags that are really, really special. They're more on the order of this one. I would consider this like a day to evening bag.
Yeah.
And so some of them have the sparkles on them. Some, I also make bags to order. I do some upcycling. So if you have a garment that you're holding onto, it's sort of a legacy garment, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a garment that you're holding onto that a loved one has left to you and it's very special to you, even if you don't want it washed, because I know how that goes.
Yeah.
My daughter grabbed my husband's shirt that had not been washed and had its cologne in it, and she held on to that shirt as long as she could, and I wasn't making bags at that time, or I would have made one out of it. And so just think about the unique ways that you could have a bag, or if you have a special one made. I'm in the process right now of making 2 or 3 specialty items for people who have ordered them because they want something special.
All right, well, you will be hearing from me. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you all for listening and chiming in. And also make sure to visit the Bishop site, the Creative Lifeworks LLC. That part is important. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.